Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host and the noob, Caliban. It's life in plastic. It's fantastic.
It sure is. And we are a couple of magical people ready to Moon Crisis make up this episode. Today we are talking about episode number 152, Hono no Jonetsu. Mazu Ikari Chohisatsu Waza in Japanese. Flames of Passion, Mars's Raging Super Attack. The English translation and the English title, Dreams of Her Own. Sounds like a bad soap opera, if you ask me.
Well, might turn out to be a fitting title for this episode.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I got some thoughts, but we'll get into it and not let that try to spoil our day a little too much. You want to spoil the fudge. That's people say that. People say that.
First time I've heard it.
You don't want to spoil the fudge.
Yeah, it's like spoiling the fun. So,
was it one of the fun? Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Probably. Yeah, well, whatever. So a little bird told me that you wanted to talk about Spotify.
Oh, yeah, I did. I didn't know if I wanted to do it right this second.
Oh,
but I guess we're going to do it. Yeah.
Sorry.
We have an ongoing experiment where people can leave comments on every episode of our episodes on Spotify, and we like to talk about them on the show. The comments, or I guess the solicited comments, are framed as what you thought about this episode.
Sure.
But honestly, it's just like a bulletin board for you to just write whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Any impressions that you have. I'm too terrified to change what the question is because it will definitely get screwed up. So without changing it, I want to talk about some of the comments we received on Spotify. For our last, actually 2 episodes ago, episode 150, we received a comment from Ribbon, and it goes a little something like this. Where do the Amazoness quartet sleep? The Amazon nest.
Oh, that's a good one.
Where's delete? There we go. No, just kidding. Thanks for that, Ribbon. And from our last episode, episode 151, we received some comments. Comment from Black Star Raven, who says, I did a poem for this episode too. So just to fill you in, on our last episode, we read the poem that Black Star Raven did for the previous episode, right? Or was it for 149? It was about fish.
It was about fish eye
in general. Yes. This one is Ray is red, Ami is blue. That episode was bad, and Cal thinks so too. Spoilers, Black Star. Hang in there, Cal. Be a trooper. I would say it gets better, but it's Sailor Moon Supers. Whoa!
Hey,
got
that
us at the end of that too. Yeah.
Wow.
And Nipsey Russell in
I
here.
am very impressed.
Well, thanks so much for that, Black Star Raven.
Yeah, thank you, Black Star Raven.
And Fandom Casual says, watching this episode as a kid was like, oh, cool. Ami met a celebrity composer. Watching it now is like, Ami learns how to be an internet victim.
Oh my God. I know. And that's like how totally you read it. And then I totally read it as being like, oh, this is kind of sweet, but not really making the connection that he's probably an adult,
looking
at
back
least a young adult.
With these adult myopic eyes.
Yeah. Not great.
Yeah. And she continues, we're all naked on the internet. Anime logic. So thanks for that, Fandom Casual. And you too can have one of your comments read on the air. If you're a Spotify listener, go to Spotify and leave a comment on this week's episode.
Yes. Without further ado, would you like to give us a breakdown of today's episode?
A Band-Aid ripping off situation.
Yep. Either ripping it off or we're putting duct tape on. I don't know. You tell me.
We might be putting duct tape on. Some of the things I've got to say about this episode. Speaking of bands, we open on the 10-band Bookmart.
Yeah.
We've seen before in the Juban shopping district, but we don't settle there. We pan over to the next door dress shop, where Usagi and Chibiusa are admiring the fancy gowns in the shop window. And Usagi says, I want to wear a wedding dress for Mama-chan soon. No college for this kid.
Yeah.
But that was never really in the cards, was it?
But doesn't her outfit look like something you would wear at college, like preppy college?
Why does she have a pee on her?
I don't know. I was really confused.
You got a pee on you.
Bad luck.
You can check that out.
Yeah. I want to take care of that.
Yeah, Chibi says, me too. Chibi, you do not get how this works, do you? Somebody needs to see Terminator right away. Of course, the message that she'll get is, go back in time and bang someone.
Oh, my God.
I got it.
Yeah.
No. Usagi fades away, or she would fade away? Who would fade away in this case? Who's fading?
Yeah, great question. She would fade away, wouldn't she?
Let's hope that a lot of people would fade away. Let's hope that we never find out.
Come with me if you want to live.
Usagi says, wearing a wedding dress is a girl's dream. Chibi says,
I really wish the show wouldn't say that.
Is it your maybe this is base Chibi, and she's like, is it your dream to be a bride, Usagi? She's like, isn't that your dream? That's not every girl's dream. And Usagi says, yes. Isn't it your dream too?
Oh my God.
I feel like we're setting up some woke sketch here, you know?
Yeah,
It's like, actually, but wait for it, because the entire episode is going to fill that role, even though Usagi will never be chastised for her trad feelings. But we forget that this ever happened throughout the course of the episode. And Chibi says, of course, which kills my based Chibi theory there. And Usagi says, and be a stewardess, and a kindergarten teacher, and an actress, and a fashion model.
Yeah, that's a lot of hats, Usagi.
If you're Barbie, you can be all those things.
That's true. She wants to be Barbie.
It's the competition. Are they taking on Barbie in this episode? Because really, they're going toe-to-toe with Barbie out on the store shelves, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I suppose so.
You go out to Akihabara or whatever, you're looking at Sailor Moon, you're looking at Barbie, the same thing.
Yeah.
People have been talking about Barbie recently, obviously.
Obviously.
Has anyone talked about how the Barbie girl video starts with the drum beat from the Toho studio trailer?
No.
Which you can hear here. And then all throughout, it's got Japanese subtitles for all the on-screen text. Even the phonetics for the names of the weirdos in the band. Lile, Kiku, all their weird names.
Serious?
Turbo.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Anybody know what's going on with that?
That's weird.
Am I the first person to ever mention this?
That's so weird. Didn't you post, somebody did a medley of that song and the Ava theme song?
Yeah, it was awesome, and I'm not talking about that
okay,
right now.
all right,
I'm talking about the Japanese in the Barbie girl video.
That's so weird. That seems really random. I mean, maybe they must be fans of Japanese culture to include that. But
well, they're clear. Well, that or they are. I mean, the most famous, I guess, the most recognizable way that a Western audience would have experienced that is probably Godzilla movies, right?
Sure.
You always see that at the beginning of a Godzilla movie. That doom, doom, doom,
yes.
doom. Or maybe like some kung fu movies or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I mean, they're probably signifying that they're cinephiles.
Probably.
Which, I don't know. Would you get that from a guy who's got a transverse mohawk shaved into the back of his head?
I don't know what's going on.
It's like
that.
male pattern baldness mohawk.
Yeah, it's
what's
weird.
going on?
Weird. It's a weird thing.
I don't have time with this anymore.
No.
Save that for later.
Okay.
Usagi's blissful wedded reverie is interrupted by her remembering that the new issue of Ron Ron comes out today.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Ron like the movie Ron? Like it means chaos? Chaos magazine.
I don't know.
Is
we'll
Ron
talk
Ron
about
the
it
onomatopoeia of chaos?
No, I don't know. I do not know.
What's
I
that?
plead the fifth.
I hear a chaos. Well, Usagi ran to the bookstore and now is holding the new issue, which promises a fall fashion guide to look stylish this year, a fall jewelry and bride section, and a special report on the Japanese subway sarin attack. Lots of great investigative journalism going on in the pages of Ron Ron magazine.
Yeah, wow.
Usagi says, to pose on the cover of a magazine is another popular dream for girls. Sure. Chibi is leafing through the latest issue of Boys Press and says, Usagi! No, it's not Boys Press's hard-hitting report on the World Trade Organization. It's this month's cover story on the beautiful and mysterious maiden of Hikawa Shrine, Rei Hino.
Yeah.
Usagi looks at the magazine, hits the roof, and says, no way! OJ was found not guilty?
Oh my God.
A lot of stuff going on in 1995.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Especially in Japan.
Oh my God.
At Hikawa Shrine, people are lined up down the stairs to buy an omamori, or a charm from the mysterious shrine maiden herself, Rei. And by people, I mean teenage boys.
Yeah.
They're clawing over each other to reach her, and she says, "Oh, please, everyone, stop arguing. You're troubling poor little Ray." We see Usagi and Chibi watching this from behind a tree, and Usagi says, and we see her and Ami, Minako, and Makoto also watching the chaos, the Ron, if you will.
Yes.
Minako says, "The power of magazines is amazing." She obviously means that hard-hitting article in Teen Beat about the World Summit.
Right.
And the Prime Minister there.
Oh, my God.
Later, Ray waves to the crowds of boys as they leave the shrine, promising to return tomorrow. And Ray says, "I'll be waiting for you." Says Usagi as she pops out from behind Ray, the rest of the squad in tow. Ami reads from her copy of Boys Press. 3 U.S. servicemen stationed at Camp Hansen in Okinawa kidnapped a 12-year-old girl. Wait, that's not it.
Oh, my God.
That's not it. Here it is. At Hikawa Shrine, the paper love charms are most popular. Perhaps it's because they're given out by a beautiful shrine maiden.
Oh, my God.
And Usagi says, "Are they talking about you when they say a beautiful shrine maiden, Ray?" Ray, blushing, says, "Someone from the magazine came the other day and they said they wanted to do an article." She flutters her eyes as she says, "When people in the know see it, they know," so to say. No one has ever said that,
no.
But okay.
This is not how we usually see you, Ray, but okay.
So you're saying if you see something, say something. That's just what it says in this article about the subway gas attack.
Oh, my God.
It'll get lighter. Chibi says, "Were the charms from the shrine that popular?" And Usagi says, she's keeping it real. And Usagi says, "It's a lie." Minako says, "Don't you usually let Yuichiro handle those?" And Ray says, "Voice acting is expensive. Also, they asked which was the most popular, and I said the romance charms." I guess they overreacted. But I thought about being the mysterious shrine maiden for a while. And if this popularity continues, we'll be famous all over Japan as the Shrine of Love, and we'll get more visitors.
Oh, my God.
And we see in her imagination Hikawa Shrine growing to be huge and made of gold.
I know.
She says, "And I might even be able to release a CD." And we see her in her fantasy holding her CD, Fall Shrine Girl by Rei Hino. It's like Fallout Girl.
Oh. Yes, I love it.
With her albums, Take This to Your Ray.
Oh, my God.
From Under the Shimboku Tree. And Infinity on Hino. And that's all the work I'm doing on that bit. I don't know anything about Fall Out Boy, but I do know that their label is fueled by Ramen Records, so they'd probably be really jazzed about this bit.
Probably.
The squad is like, "What?" And their heads are huge and disdainful. And Ray is like, "Oh, poor little Ray is so troubled." She says, "My dream is to be a career woman traveling all over the world. A real Barbie type." And behind her, we see a montage of Rays.
Yes.
Astronaut Ray, Idol Ray, Race Queen Ray. That's a weird one.
Oh, my God.
Explorer Ray.
Yeah.
Basketball player Ray. Does Ray have ups?
I don't know.
And female President Ray.
That's right.
We just say President. President Ray. Ray says, "An international life of success." And in her fantasy, she tears her shrine maiden robes off.
Now we're getting somewhere.
We see her in a swimsuit, wearing a cape and a crown, holding a trophy, having presumably won Best Girl Ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And Usagi slides that fantasy up like a garage door in a cool transition. It says, "Whatever happened to that?" And Ray says, "That is that, and this is this."
They keep bringing this phrase back.
That's there. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
It's the first act of the episode.
That's right.
I haven't gotten my comeuppance yet.
That's true.
Usagi says, "The world isn't that easy a place." And Ray says, "Well, not for normal girls like you." And Usagi does not just stage her out right here and now.
Yeah, right.
But instead, she says, "But you're normal too." And Ray says, "Sorry, but I've got something called beauty that you don't have." And Usagi does this eye thing. Like, I would say if she wasn't Japanese, it's like I'm Japanese. But she's like, "Don't you mean sleepy?" Got her. Ray says, "Don't compare me to you. You're tardy every day." Usagi says, "I'm only late 3 days out of 4. And as they struggle, we see Chibi and the rest of the squad just kind of creeping away like, there they go again.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Sailor Moon.
Yes.
But they run into a young girl. She's maybe halfway in between Chibi and Usagi in age.
Mm-hmm.
Who says, "Excuse me, where's the mysterious shrine maiden?"
Yes.
Like the Indigo girls start playing here. We'll talk about it.
You're jumping ahead of
And
where
the
I
girls,
was. Yep. I know exactly
girls
what you're
look
saying.
over at where Usagi and Rei are.
Yep.
And we just hear. And Ami says, "Who are you?" And this she's different than the other girls.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
She's got springy little pigtails. She's wearing yellow striped tights.
Yeah.
Like Malvolio. Look it up.
What?
And she said, oh, I can't do classical Shakespeare allusions here, I guess.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now.
And she says, "My name's Nanako, and I want to be just like the Shrine Maiden in this article next to the article about the weaknesses in Prime Minister Murayama's coalition government."
Oh my God.
She says, "I want to be just like Rei, mysterious and calm." And we see in the background her and Usagi is wailing on each other. Rei notices this girl, goes back into her beatific Shrine Maiden mode, and says, "Look up to? That troubles me." And the girl runs up to her and says, "Miss Rei, I want to be a Shrine Maiden. Let me help." Rei, pretty name for a pretty girl. You want to get out of here? The squad is watching this, and Mako says, "The power of magazines."
I love it.
Amina says, "Be kind of pushy for a Shrine Maiden." Nanako says, "I'll do my best. Hey, can I park a U-Haul up front?"
Oh my God.
As we see the winged form of Zircon circle overhead.
Oh, it's always a good sign.
In the Hall of Mirror, Zirconia is speaking once again with the image of Nehelania in the dark mirror. And Zirconia is saying, "Please give us a while longer. Soon will be the day when we greet your beautiful presence on Earth." The image of Nehelania disappears wordlessly because voice actors are expensive.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that.
Zircon comes flying up to the catfish lady and 3D prints a picture of young Nanako.
Yes.
Zirconia says, "This girl? She looks rather airheaded. And like she's dreaming of Lilith Fair tickets. Are you sure about this?" She's taking flying eyeball advice? She is desperate.
I guess she is.
Oh, well, you've only been wrong 23 times. With a plume of smoke, Zirconia appears atop her elephant perch in the big top. Slamming her staff down, she calls, "Little wenches, where are you?" Should be a good Scooby-Doo spinoff.
This?
Little wenches, where are you? Colored lights flash as Junjun swings down, upside down, and says, "You good?" And the rest of the Amazonesses swing down from the rafters to the main ring. And Zirconia says, "Now stop your horsing around." Now, any place that's hunting Pegasus is going to have a no horsing policy.
Of
That's
course.
just the way. No horseplay at all.
That's just smart.
Siri says, "We're just rehearsing a new way to make an appearance." And Vest says, "People grow tired of the same acts all the time, so we're doing research." And Junjun says, "We're different from, I don't know, some old hag who can only appear in a puff of smoke." It's professional criticism.
Yeah, yes.
Zirconia says, "How conceited! You only have to obey my orders." And Zircon presents them with the new photo, and they immediately start chattering about it. This kid? She really has the golden mirror? She looks like she's got boots of leather, slippers of gold.
What?
It's a...
So that's a reference.
Famous nonfiction book about the lesbian community in Buffalo, New York.
Okay,
from the 1930s
okay.
and the 1960s. Surprised you didn't know that. Zirconia says, "Quiet! If you got time to wisecrack, you got time to hijack. Find this girl."
Oh my God.
The next day at Hokawa Shrine, Rei is once again selling charms to the fawning boys, and she's got some help. It's Nanako in Miko robes and a black wig. Oh my God! It's a single white female situation. We got a single white female situation.
I haven't seen it, but she is definitely emulating Rei for sure.
Single white female. Bridget Fonda plays a young professional lady in 1992.
Sure.
And she needs a roommate. I don't know why. And then somebody answers the thing. It's Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Okay.
And she's kind of like a mousy girl like Jennifer Jason Leigh played in a lot of her early roles. And they become closer. As they become closer, Jennifer Jason Leigh is like, oh, that haircut. Oh, looks like Bridget Fonda's haircut.
Okay.
You know, oh, she colored it. Oh, maybe she's like sleeping with her boyfriend. And then it gets stabby.
Yeah.
As these erotic thrillers do.
Yeah.
Whether the erotic thriller of yesteryear.
I don't know. It also reminds me a little bit of Persona, which is maybe, you know.
Now that is gilding the lily.
Is it?
But I guess I'll give you that.
I've seen that one.
If you take anything away from this,
yes,
see Persona.
See Persona.
But also see Single White Female.
Okay.
Because it really clips along.
Okay.
It's not that great, but it is the trashy kind of film that they don't make anymore.
There's a lot of films they don't make anymore. They don't make good comedy films either, in my
And
opinion.
it's 1992, and this is why it's... Well, I'll get there. It's not as gay as you think it'd be.
Sure.
It's not gay at all, in fact, because it's 1992. And we don't do that.
Right.
But it could be gay. And it's not directed by a gay guy. It's based on a book that's not written by a gay guy. Mm-hmm. A guy. It should be a girl anyway.
Yeah.
But the screenwriter was a gay guy. So if there's anything gay in it, that's probably where it comes from. Now, weirdly, Netflix, because they lack all creativity, they have none, literally just did a remake. But they didn't call it a remake and they didn't pay for anything, called The Roommate. And it's Minka Kelly, who is gorgeous, but I'm way too old to be a college student.
Sure.
But the same is true of Leighton Meester.
Yes.
Who, good casting because I can't tell them apart. But they play, I think, college roommates.
Sure.
And then the one tries to take over the life of the other one.
Yeah, got it.
And I don't think there's any gay subtext in that one either. Not that gay people are to kill each other. It's probably better that they're not killing each other.
It probably is better.
But if you're going to have that, Persona does play with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It transcends that, I think. But it does play with it.
Yeah. And
so, anyway, it's the kind of movie that, of course, they don't make Personas anymore either.
Of course not.
They don't make those movies anymore. Mm-mm. You know, the kind of movie where, you know, oh, there's a gun in the third act. Or we're scheming about something, and then a guy falls and trips, and he hits his head on the coffee table, and now what?
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of the body.
Right.
You're Diaboliques.
Diaboliques. It reminds me of
any movie that Sharon Stone was in.
Oh, sure.
Post Basic Instinct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And including Basic Instinct.
Yes, definitely.
Which is a neo-noir film. Yeah. Yeah. One of the boys says, Miss Ray, you have such a cute little sister. And they both react.
I know.
Who's he talking to? Who do they think he's talking to? It's a single white female situation.
Oh my God.
Another guy says, when I look at you two, I start to feel that I'll find someone of my own. And the guy that says this, just apropos of nothing, has like a shag haircut and a poet shirt.
Great.
He looks like he's from the 70s. He looks like Bjorn Skifs from Blue Swede, for the band Blue Swede.
Oh my God.
Ray says, that feeling is all you need. Be hooked on a feeling.
What is happening
like
now?
Blue Swede.
Yeah.
Another guy says, I'll be here every day. And Ray says, I'll be waiting. And then we see Ray in profile in a real sparkling shoujo style.
Yep.
There's a word for when you have like, oh, this guy's got a gun, but then we're going to look at the gun and suddenly it's all like crosshatched and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I can't remember what that word is.
I know what you're talking about.
But there's a character version of that as well, where it's like, you're just a couple lines,
right.
But then if we're going to really focus on somebody for some reason.
It's going to be really detailed.
Yeah, it's really detailed. And it's like that kind of romantic shoujo style. And the Uranus-Neptune love theme is playing.
I know.
Which if they're just, music is also expensive. And I noticed, we were kind of looking up at Ray from her right.
Yeah.
Maybe this is Nanako's view?
I think it is.
It is!
Yes.
We immediately reversed to see Nanako looking up at Ray with stars in her eyes. And Love Will Come to You by the Indigo Girls begins playing in the background.
Technically, the stars are always in her eyes, but she's very sparkly and...
Nitpicking!
She totally has a crush on Ray.
She cut to the courtyard, where the squad stands dejected under a tree, seeing all the boys fawn over Ray, and hearing them say things like, Shrine Maidens are great. Yeah, normal girls, they don't really do it for me anymore.
Oh my God.
And Usagi says, almost half-heartedly, everyone, There are 5 cute girls right here. Ami says, I wonder if the charms from Hikawa Shrine actually work. And for a second, she looks embarrassed because she's worried they'll all learn what we already know. The existence of secret horn dog Ami.
Which is also a runner.
But she gets away with it.
Yeah.
Because the squad starts laughing. And Mina smacks her on the back and Usagi says, if that was true, and they all say, Rei would have a boyfriend already.
Yes.
But magical truth-telling Chibi says, but she's popular.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls are once again subdued as they look and see Rei surrounded by young men.
Mm-hmm.
Mina says, maybe I could help the Shrine Maidens too.
Oh my God.
And Usagi says, yes, me too. Because this show can't help itself.
Yes.
But Mako also says, Rei said that she could use the help. But once again, Chibi throws water on them by saying, she said that thanks to Nanako, she doesn't need any more help. While the girls are feeling sorry for themselves, a handsome young dude in an argyle sweater and a scarf approaches them and says, excuse me. And the girls are like, yeah, oh yeah, can we help you? But then they immediately huddle up and they're like, oh, but we're still minors. We have to be modest in our relationships. Should we only go on a group date?
It's like, oh my God. Why are you talking about still being minors?
While they're talking, yeah. Well, this guy seems like an older kind of guy.
Okay.
And while they're talking, we hear the guy say, thank you. And Ami say, you're welcome. And he's walking off. And Ami says, he wanted to know where the Juban Hawaiian Center was.
I have no idea what that means.
And the girls are like, you know? And she's like, yep. Okay, let's brainstorm some scenarios in which this is any way relevant.
Okay.
How was this an end? And I don't mean like in real life, a real life Hawaiian Center in Tokyo.
Yeah, right?
How was this an end to the bit? I'm not mad, show. I just want to understand.
I honestly don't know. It just seems like they wanted a random place that most people wouldn't know where it was. And she said Hawaiian Center.
That's pretty random.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's not like the U.S. Embassy or something like that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like.
Oh, is he supposed to be American?
Maybe. I don't know. That they didn't make that clear.
He had long hair.
Yeah.
It could be like surfer hair.
It could be surfer
But
hair.
then he would not then be in slacks and an argyle sweater and have a scarf.
That is also true.
Unless he's, shooting the curls. But then sometimes you gotta keep it hot because it's fall. And
right,
so
right.
You
He's
warm up.
a studious surfer.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, maybe it is like a, cultural outpost for
Sure.
Japanese Hawaiian.
Lots of pineapples and coconuts.
Learn some hulas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Maybe you learn how to make a lei.
Spam, sushi.
Lots of spam sushi.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, you get that. That's delicious. You get that sashimi. That spam sashimi.
Spam sashimi.
Yeah.
Gross.
The texture. Look, Japanese people. It's a different palate. They cotton right to the squish of cold spam.
I'm not a fan of spam.
Is this roe? Oh, it's so much worse than that.
Oh my God, I know.
Put some of that tamago on there.
Ew. Oh God.
Japanese are a bunch of fakers because if they were really eating egg sushi, you just gulp, right? Just drink it down. Rocky ate 12 egg sushis every day.
Sometimes they do have raw egg with some of their foods.
So. Yeah, but you put it into like hot rice, it's going to start cooking.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. It's not the same.
Only the purest, rawest egg is egg sushi.
Okay.
Yeah, you can quote me on that.
All right,
All right, we didn't come up with anything.
No.
Later, Rei and Nanako are sweeping up, and Rei says, I'm sorry you have to do the cleaning as well. But Nanako says, I'm happy I can just be here with you, Rei.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I'm going forward with the Indigo Girls thing or the single white female thing at this point.
They're fighting each other.
Don't make me split the difference.
Yeah.
That's tattoo. Nanako says, Miss Rei, you're so beautiful, mysterious, and elegant. Would you say you're about a size 3?
Whoa.
No, she says, you already have a set future. I bet you've got nothing to worry about right now. I don't even have to add anything. That's just a weird thing to say.
It is a weird thing to say.
Does anybody know you're here?
Yeah. You're a strange kid.
Is your grandpa coming home anytime soon?
Oh my God.
Rei says, Nanako, I'm not that kind of ... Come on, show! Is this subtext or not?
I know, right?
Tell me what to do here.
I know.
The alternative is tattoo, and no one wants that. Nanako says, you're the ideal shrine maiden. I want to be just like you.
Oh my God.
I'll always be at your side and do everything just like you do. Okay, it is a single white female.
Yeah.
But Ray thinks it's an Indigo Girl situation.
Yes.
Tattoo averted.
Okay. All right.
Ray looks uncomfortable and she's about to do a, look, kid. But Nanako says, I'll do my best. Someday I'll be just like you, Ray. Please let me stay here forever. She grabs onto Ray's robes and says, I want to be your little sister, Miss Ray. Can I call you my dear sister? And Ray's like, And Nanako says, I'll go get the dustpan. And she runs off and Ray's like, dear sister, is she going to murder me?
Oh my God. I read that like Ray being like, oh, I'm going to be somebody's sister. That's so sweet. You didn't think
Look
so?
at her face.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get that.
Okay.
Speaking of creeping, Nanako is getting the dustpan out of the shed while Usagi and Chibi watch her from behind a tree with the cats.
Yeah.
This is normal. This is an okay form of being creepy. An acceptable form.
It's on par for Usagi and Chibi.
And Usagi's like, she's like clenching Chibi's buns in her hands.
I know.
She's like driving her like a motorcycle.
So funny.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
It's like Ratatouille, right?
Yeah, she's a Rakakuni, yeah.
Yeah.
Usagi says, she sure works hard. And Chibi's like, yeah. And Artemis says, wanting to be a shrine maiden because she looks up to Ray? She sure is strange. And Luna says, especially if Ray herself isn't sure if she wants to be a shrine maiden. Thanks, guys. We got it now. Got the situation. And Diana says, it's just like that movie with Bridget Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh. No. Diana doesn't say anything. Usagi says, I'm going to ask her. And she runs out with Chibi. And Artie says, there she goes. And Luna says, butting into things again. And Diana says, it looks like fun. And the cats are like, oh, Diana.
You have no idea, child.
Usagi says to Nanako, so are you doing your best? And Nanako, honest mistake,
Yes.
says, yes, I want to be like Ray as soon as I can. Would you say that she has pliable, workable skin?
Oh my God.
She says, my dear sister is just a pure, beautiful person. She wishes for other romances to go well and doesn't think twice about what happens to her. She wants to spend her whole life quietly like this.
Yeah.
And Chibi and Usagi look at each other like, you want to take this? Or Usagi says, for Ray, it's more like she values her own happiness first. And Chibi's like, yeah, don't you have your own dreams, Nanako? Mm-hmm. Nanako says, Chibi, you're too young to understand. There are dreams that come true and dreams that don't. All of my dreams are ones that won't come true. And Usagi says, Nanako, dreams are something that you make come true.
Right.
You got to march right up to that restaurant manager and tell him, if the sign says buffet all day, it means all day. Nanako says, my dear sister Ray's dream is to be the maiden of this shrine. I'm not going to chase after dreams that won't come true, and I'll stay single my whole life, like my sister. And Usagi and Chibi are like, Ray? Single? Like, unmarried?
Right.
Ray? Because Ray's boy crazy, right?
Well.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. On a roof nearby sits Ves, who says to herself, I guess that's a target. But she was wearing a wig. I won't let her get away. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
In Ray's room later, the squad is having tea, and Usagi is telling Ray that Nanako has a different idea about what Ray's future holds, namely her being an unwed shrine maiden. Mm-hmm. And Ray says, you gotta be kidding, why? And Ami says, maybe because a shrine maiden sacrifices her life towards her god? Is this fundamentalist Ami coming out?
I don't. It might be. It might be.
My theory about that?
Yep.
Mako says, good point. But Mina says, guys, it's Ray.
Thank you, Minako.
Ray says, a girl's possibilities are endless. There's astronaut Ray, idol Ray, race queen Ray, explorer Ray. You get the idea. I want to have more romances, a happy marriage, and a worthwhile job. My dream is to be a career woman traveling all over the world. Suck it, Margot Robbie. But Usagi says, so you say that you've been having fun being the mysterious shrine maiden. And Rei says, a lot of people have come to the shrine. I was happy for a while, and it would have been really something if I'd been scouted to enter showbiz. Ironically, this is exactly what happened to live action Rei, the actress, because she was in this like dumb live action show, but then they're like, oh no, you're going to be a movie star now, and she's like, okay, goodbye everybody.
Yeah, right.
And that was the end of that. Find out more on our Pretty Guardian Sailor Noob's live show on our Patreon.
Yes.
Mako says, okay, now it's starting to make sense. And Mina says, Rei, you've been acting so girly recently that we thought, after you were asked, and she grabs hands with Mako, can I call you my dear sister? We thought you were really up to doing all of this. You know, running a gender studies bookstore. I'm really being thrown for a loop by this episode.
Yes.
Rei blushes because this episode really has it in for me. And Mina's like, aha! But she says, I just want to cheer Nanako and her dream on. And Chibi, thank God, finally someone with some sense and no sense of subtext says, but Nanako said she doesn't have a dream, so she wants to spend her life in a shrine. And Rei's like, but isn't her dream to be a shrine maiden? Or date me? Or make a dress out of me? I'm so confused.
Oh my God.
Same, Rei. Usagi says, she said that she wants a peaceful life because dreams don't come true. And Rei says, well, that's different. Because she said she wanted to be a shrine maiden. You know, I thought this misunderstanding would be all right, but she's not looking up to me. She wants to eat me.
Oh my God.
She's looking to run away from her dreams. And as Rei says this, we see that Nanako is just outside the door. And I think Diana knows it. Because she pokes at Emi like, Lady Emi. Lady Emi.
Yes.
Wacky misunderstanding incoming, Lady Emi. I've seen your historical records. Rei continues, the job of a shrine maiden is to help others reach their dreams. Just because she doesn't have a dream of her own, she's a shrine maiden like that. And Ami notices Nanako too and says, wait! But Rei says, is someone I don't need. And at this, Nanako drops the bowl of candy that she was carrying with a crash. No! No. And everybody sees her. And she says, I'm sorry. I just wanted to be like my sister Rei. And she takes her wig off. Guess I won't be replacing this with your scalp today.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. She runs off. Mako says, Rei, go after her. But Rei says, there's no use going after her. But Usagi and the squad go after her.
Yeah.
In the courtyard, Nanako cries against a tree saying, it's impossible for me to have dreams. And it would be a poignant moment. But this is a show about people getting attacked by circus performers.
Yes.
So we see Vesves stick her head out of the leaves of the tree. She comes up behind Nanako and says, what? You don't have any dreams? And Nanako says, that's none of your business. Say, you like working in the circus? What are you, a size 4? Vess says, it is my business. And I guess she's telling the truth. It is her business to try to kill people and steal their dreams.
Yes.
Nanako says, I lost all my dreams, even the small pieces. And Vess says, well, that's a real problem. Kids without dreams are the worst. And Nanako's like, are you serious right now? And Vess says, stop crying. Do you have any dreams at all? And Nanako's like,
just really need
I am very traumatized. Please leave me alone. And Vess says, sheesh, Zirconia has the worst leads. Later, Nanako grabs her before she can go and says, you know, actually, but Vess is like, I don't have time for a dreamless girl. What is going on here?
I don't know.
Nanako says, my dream is so ridiculous it would never come true. And Vess says, well, that works out great, because I'm taking it. She's already in her circus togs, so she does colliding ball and knocks out Nanako's mirror. Now, this is really going to shock you, but it's not a golden mirror.
You're a crook.
And Vess is thinking that Zircon must have something wrong with him.
Yeah, probably.
She broke him last week.
It's true.
We hear, hold it right there. A girl, dreams broken, sits and cries. Villains mock her for their own amusement. As long as there is evil in this world, as those who are entrusted with defeating villains, we, the sailor team, in the name of the moon, will punish you. Sailor Senshi are here.
Yes.
Vess is like, geez, finally. To me, my lemur, dream-eating monkey, mane musume. And in her shadow appears 2 eyes and a mouth.
Yeah.
Which resolve into a red-furred monkey lady. And I think the eyes in the mouth are like the eyes in the mouth on a sock monkey.
Oh.
Did you get that? I just kind of got that. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Even though later she's like I'll describe her. She's literally a monkey.
She is literally a monkey.
In a page boy cap.
Yeah.
With nipples on her shirt.
Yeah.
But they're
that
like
are eyes,
button,
quote unquote.
They're button nipples.
Yeah, so that's
like the buttons on a sock monkey.
But
so
her eyes
she's
are
literally
like
a monkey.
too. Yeah.
But she's also a sock monkey as well.
That makes a lot of sense.
There should be another hat on top of that page boy cap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vest says, "Get rid of them all." And Mane says, "Get rid of them all." And Vest says, "Stop copying me." And Mane says, "Stop copying me." Mane runs at the Sailor Senshi going, "Monkey, monkey, 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 monkey." But Venus fires a love me chain that wraps up the lemur. But she immediately busts out of the chain. And when the monkey looks up, she's got Monaco's face. Oh my God.
It's terrifying.
Mane fires off a Mane love me chain, which sends the Senshi sprawling. Jupiter cues up a sparkling wide pressure. Jupiter, no!
What are you doing?
We didn't cover this in the training yet, but this is the wrong time. Mane takes the face of Makoto and throws a Mane sparkling wide pressure, which the girls are forced to dodge. She then beats her chest with her hands, and with the nipple shirt and all, this is as good as it's going to get without the internet, 90s perverts, so drink it in. Sailor Mercury begins a Mercury. Middle of the century, you're like, wait, no. And she says, "Just kidding."
Yeah.
Will they all be protected from something?
I don't know. But they seem to really think that it would, be bad.
Let's not do that anymore. Yeah.
Yes.
The sailors wonder, what should we do? And Mane says, "What should we do?" And away from the battlefield, Diana and Ray sprint towards the conflict. Back on the battlefield, the faux Jupiter shakes her red ass at the Senshi.
Oh my God.
So this was a red letter day for 90s perverts.
Yeah.
Floating on a giant red ball, Vest says, "Mane, a reward for you. Eat this girl's mirror." And in one bite, Mane swallows it whole. But it happens really fast, and it's not animated in any detail, so no third-time charm, perverts. Ray arrives just in time to see Mane take the face of Nanako and say tearfully, "I have dreams too. I want to find a wonderful boyfriend. I want to travel all over the world. I dream of international success, but I'm too weak-willed. I'm scared. I hate myself," she says, literally dancing over Nanako's lifeless form.
Yeah.
She says, "I wanted to be somebody else. I thought I wouldn't have doubts if I could be like my sister Ray. I thought I could be a new me." The real Nanako cries weakly, "Please stop." Aww. And at this, Ray raises her transformation rod and cries, "Mars Crystal Power Makeup!" And she transforms into Sailor Mars, now with bow and arrow power.
Yes.
Mane continues to cry in the form of Nanako, but Vest says, "That's enough." And it is, really.
Yeah.
Because Sailor Mars says, "Stomping upon a maiden's dreams, the villain mimics like a monkey. In the name of Mars, I'll chastise you."
Yes.
Vest says, "Don't show up late and act like you're cool." Mane. And Mane says with Ray's face, "I'll chastise you." Mars says, "Don't copy me," and runs at Mane. As the Senshi are like, wait, don't. No, there she goes.
Yep.
Mars fires a burning mandala and gets a Mane burning mandala in return, and the two attacks crash into each other. Mars says, "It's cheap mimicking my attack." And Vest says, "W is a W, even if it's cheap." And looking over to Nanako, she says, "This girl's just like us. She got the best parts of life, and life is going her way." But Mars says, "Now I'm pissed. Watch me, Nanako." Who you shouldn't know is Ray, by the rules of this world. This should mean nothing to her.
Yeah,
This
right.
shouldn't be a lesson at all. This is some superhero came in. If anything, she'd now want a single white female Sailor Mars after this. But don't worry about it.
I didn't think of it like that while I was watching it, but you're absolutely right.
Mars says, "Nothing good comes out of mimicking other people. It's important to be yourself. All girls have the power to make their dreams come true. And we'll add some weak commentary about the patriarchy to that in around 30 years.
Oh my God.
What's important is wanting to do it." And honestly, I thought that America Forever speech was the best part, really, of the whole thing.
It was.
Mars Flame Sniper! And she fires a flaming arrow at Mane that transfixes her with fire.
Yes.
She yells, "Now Sailor Moon!" With a wave of her Carillon and a twinkle yell, Chibi summons Pegasus. Pegasus says, "Oh, hey, I saw your spread in Boys Press, Ray. That was some nice ink. I used to have a column in Horse and Rider till I got canceled for my comments about jockeys. I only said maybe they could wear some cute little costumes.
Oh my God.
You do not want to cross the PJA. Let me tell you. Here's your power. Goodbye." Sailor Moon gives us the MGM, and Mani Mani stages out for the last time. Defeated, Vest yells, "You just wait!" and balls out, while Nanako's mirror returns to her. And we actually see it, and it's nothing special. It just goes into her.
Yeah, right. No ceremony.
Yeah, it doesn't
like glisten.
I don't know what's supposed to happen, but it just goes bloop, done. Later, Chibi in Amiko's outfit is sweeping the empty courtyard. She stops and looks up and says, "I'm bored." Behind the counter, we see the whole squad dressed as shrine maidens, and they're reading the newest issue of Boys Press, and it's an article on the new cover model, the beautiful girl on the street corner, Baba Nanako-chan.
Yeah.
It says, "Who'd have thought? There's a girl in this area who can boil tea."
Yeah.
Also, hundreds die in Great Henshin earthquake. Nanako got a job at a hamburger shop, I guess.
I guess so.
Dream achieved. Usagi says she's happy that Nanako is happy, and speak of the devil, here's Nanako. She says, "I brought you something." Oh my God, what's in the bag?
I know.
Hamburgers!
Oh, thank God.
Uh-oh, free hamburgers? Looks like Usagi's gonna try and single white female her.
Oh no!
How do I get more of these hamburgers?
Oh my God.
Ray says, "You seem to be all right now." And Nanako says, "I'll do my best in the future to make sure my dreams come true in the way best suited for me. At McDonald's."
Oh my God.
Ray says, "That's the spirit." And Nanako says, "But sometimes I'd like to rely on you, my sister. My beautiful, blood-filled sister."
Oh my God.
And Ray's like, "Wait a minute." And Nanako's like, "Just kidding." Or am I?
Yeah. We don't know.
I am.
Oh my God.
But I'm kidding. Everyone laughs. Ray puts Nanako in a headlock, and in a voiceover, Ray tells us, girls always have the power to make their dreams come true. And the moral is, don't read Boys Press.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And Boys Press went out of business 2 weeks later.
And have
doing all these terrible articles
I know.
of random girls on the street.
It's weird.
Getting nothing
It's
in return
weird.
from the business.
I know.
They help a shrine out. They're not going to give me any money.
No.
They help a corporate hamburger stand out. Nothing.
I know.
They're
it's
like,
weird.
this is our gentlemen. Thank you for coming to the board meeting of Boys Press.
Boys Press.
Limited periodicals. I've got this great idea. We're going to reach a hand out to the community, and they're going to give back. 3 weeks later, we're out of business.
I know.
Clean out your desks.
Oh my God. And it's young girls too, which is kind of, I don't know.
Young girls, get out of Boys Press.
I do kind of want to think of it as like a Tiger Beat, but I feel like it's like creepier. Like, Tiger Beat are celebrities, but they're trying to make the local people celebrities in a way.
Nanako's okay because she's going to work at this place. She's going to save up. She's going to go to Vassar. She's going to have a great time.
Sure.
So ultimately, I was kind of right. The episode was about acting like someone else.
Yes.
And then that was reinforced with the lemur.
Yes.
But it was
absolutely.
also about wearing someone else's face, like Hannibal Lecter.
Oh my God. You are actually kind of right about that. And that's very terrifying.
No, it's not. No.
But wearing somebody else's face, the lemur does that. So
why confuse? Can we just cut to the heart of it? Because we got a limited amount of time because that took so long.
Sure.
And I don't want to start trashing the episode yet because it's not the time to rate it. But who did this to my Ray?
I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't like the
I have this dream.
Cosmopolitan dream thing.
I have no idea. Look, here's the problem. My dream is that she is asexual. We know that.
We know that, yes.
And apparently in the manga, I might be a little happier, even though they seem relentlessly determined to pair everybody up in the manga. But not for, it doesn't really happen for Ray.
No.
And whatever. This is cartoons in the 90s. It's also, look, they've made strides, but it's Japan in the 90s.
Yes.
Everybody's getting a boyfriend. We're not getting out of this.
Right.
But it's funny how they make it ambiguous. And Ray's more like, I can't settle down. I got all kinds of dreams. And it's like, well, it seems like that doesn't mean chasing boys. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Having all kinds of dreams it could be code for something, right?
I suppose you're right. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Definitely.
and I know that she dated, Mamoru, but
yeah,
a lot of people don't figure out who they are till later.
that's true too.
But I just like the fact that there was one girl that whose backstory wasn't intimately tied to the love of a man or an encounter with a man.
Yeah, right.
And when I look at Sailor fandom and I see other LGBTQ people holding her up as, a figure like this and looking at her like that.
Yeah.
When we do these episodes where it's like, oh boy, Ray, she can't get enough.
Yeah.
I don't see that all the time. And so that's one thing. And then we have another thing where I know this is a little child. I know this is a child. I think she's 13 because it says in the cover of the magazine 13.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense between Chibi and Usagi.
But we can still have like romantic love,
Of course.
But to have her come in and look at her in this way and see her as shoujo. Yeah. And then when the other girls are making fun of her, we know what they're saying.
They're jealous.
We know what they're saying because it's translated to say what they say. But when we see what they're doing and the way they act, it seems like you're all ready to move in together. So when do we show up and help unload the U-Haul? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so maybe this is just me in my modern reading and what I want to see. But I feel like you could much more. We have had other episodes that were much more unambiguous in terms of this is a younger character who's like, wow, you really got something going there. And I want to be like this person when I grow up. And they're like, okay, kid, careful.
Right.
And then I'm going to find my own dream. And they're like, you do that. I got a test to take. But this is just so weird and ambiguous. And my job is to come in and to make fun of it and compare it to single white female or whatever. But I'm just saying, apart from all that, this is weird ambiguity throughout the entire thing.
Well, doesn't it just kind of seem like her dream, Nanako's dream, is to be Rei? She doesn't have a dream. She just wants to be Rei. Mm-hmm. And her version of Rei, which is not having a romantic relationship with anyone and staying at the shrine forever, which is strange.
Nanako never has a dream.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think insofar as anybody was trying to do anything, it's possible that they were trying to have Nanako serve as a foil for Rei in that Rei feels whenever I think it's telling that we don't touch on this very often. There's one episode a year where we look at Rei's future,
Sure.
She's got a guy who's like, I really like you. And she's like, I don't like you. And it's possible that I don't like you because you're weird. But it's also possible I don't like you because I don't like you,
I don't like boys.
But then they have her chase him down and thanks, Yuichiro. And so it's possible that they just mean, let's forget what I think for a second and just say she is a character who has this connection, has a commitment to the shrine, her family, and her religion, but also has all these other things. But she is a young girl, and she doesn't know what she wants. Usagi, unfortunately, already knows what she wants, which is to just get married and pop out babies forever. Maybe she'll regret that when she's older.
Yeah.
Rei wants everything, and she wants it right now.
That's true.
And that is both inspiring, but it's also kind of a symptom of she doesn't know at all what she wants,
Exactly.
And so we see a younger character like that and you go, oh, she sees that in her. She wants to be like her. And you would, in a good episode, there would be something that she would figure out at the end. And then Rei can go, great. You want to be an airline pilot.
Right.
And so there she goes. She's got her wings and her cap, and she's going to go off and do that.
Right.
And I still don't know what I want to do.
Right.
Because our character can't change. She's got to be in 50 more episodes.
Right.
But we don't have that. Rei just chops out, gets out the race car driver and the astronaut and everything else. And then the girl also is just like, yeah, I'm going to work at a hamburger stand. So you guys couldn't come up with something that she discovers that she wants to do?
Yeah,
I think it's a very
upsetting.
depressing message. Not that she's 13, not that she's working on a hamburger stand, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like she has non-existent dreams. She doesn't come up with anything.
Right. So then why does she even have a dream mirror in the first place, I guess would be.
And plus her getting the article is also well, yeah, why does she have a dream mirror exactly?
Yeah.
What's in the mirror?
Yeah, nothing, apparently.
There's a weird thing where the monkey eats it, and then I guess the monkey... I mean, you can't take the bad guy's word on anything, right?
No.
But the monkey, I guess, is kind of maybe embodying we've never seen this before, but it's sort of like medium channeling what the dream is.
Yeah,
But the dream is so unfocused as well.
Yes,
it's just, I want to do it, but I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
And because it's a show where people punch each other and transform and get new toys or whatever, you can't see a thing where maybe Rei hears that and thinks the despairing parts, which Nanako, I guess, through the monkey is able to say.
Sure.
Rei hears it and thinks, this is like me. Usually we see older people and we go, oh man, that's like me. But she's seeing a younger person and saying,
that would have been much better.
That's my fear. That's exactly my fear that this young girl has, is that she feels like she can't do. She never had a shrine. She had never anything to throw herself into. Mm-hmm. You know, that would be me, but for the grace of Kami.
Yeah, right.
and it is me still, because I'm 16 and I don't know what I'm going to do with my life, or 15 or whatever they are.
Right.
But like that is. We're coming right up to the door. That's not halfway. We're like ringing the doorbell as far as going to meet that idea. That's not really present in the episode.
Well, and I think that they needed to dive deeper into like Rei's dreams.
They don't need to do. Nobody needs to talk or say anything else in this episode. It's just a bunch of people explaining things that have already happened and just repeating ideas over and over again.
Well, in the manga, Rei did want to be a shrine maiden, actually, she wanted to be a female priestess.
Right, but it's because she has
different.
Mystical powers and she has like a mission.
But Rei in the manga is very different from Rei in the anime.
No, yeah, we know that. I know that.
Yeah.
But making her like more fun
and Barbie-like.
You
were right on about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. At the end of us finishing our wrap-up here for this episode, before we move on to Kiro Kiro Miru, we will have a discussion about Barbie and possibly its context in the world of Sailor Moon.
Okay.
But it's too much for this episode, and so it's going to go on the Patreon.
Okay.
So if you want to hear, we've both seen the movie Barbie.
Yes.
I don't think we ever really talked about it here on the show.
No.
If you want to hear our thoughts on the movie Barbie and its connection to Sailor Moon and Barbie Girl.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
So strange.
Then, if you're a patron, check it out there. If you're not a patron, patreon.com/Sailor Noob.
I did want to touch on Ran real quick. The issue of Ran goes on sale, Usagi's talking about, and this is most likely a reference to the manga magazine called Run. Run is the sister magazine to Nakayoshi, which Sailor Moon ran in, and manga would frequently start in Run and then move to Nakayoshi, which is what happened with the Sailor V manga. So, yeah.
Okay.
So
that makes a little more sense.
But my dub said Ran as well. So I guess they felt like they
says that on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
All of you relax. This is a matter of inconvenient timing, that's all. Rebooting the podcast was inevitable. This is simply the beginning. I thought I told all of you I want broadcast silence until further...
Ooh, I'm very sorry, Cal. I didn't get that message. Maybe you should have put it on Twitter. I figured since you were relaunching the Just Enough Trope podcast, you might be a little lonely, so I decided to be your co-host.
That's very kind of you. I assume you're our mysterious podcaster. You're most troublesome for a Sailor Moon fan?
Sorry, Cal. Wrong guess. Would you like to go for an all-new show where the hosts haven't really changed?
Who are you, then?
Just a fly in the ointment, Cal. The dye in the hard. The moon in the lighting.
She's talking about the rebooted Just Enough trope, where we'll dive deep into the pop culture elements that make up your favorite movies, TV shows, comics, and video games. See if she's lying about moonlighting and find out if Bruno is returned.
No, respect yourself.
Miss Mystery Guest, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Unless you want to sing a duet with me.
No, I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You know my name, but who are you? Just another podcast host who saw too many movies as a child? Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks she's John McClane, Corbin Dallas, a crooning Alcopop pitchman?
I was always kind of partial to Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler, actually. It's wet and it's dry.
Do you really think you have a chance with this new show, Ms. Co-host?
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Cooler.
Just Enough Trope, 40 stories of sheer pop culture deconstruction. Available everywhere you listen to your favorite shows.
Do I sound like I'm ordering a podcast?
Today for Kyoro Kyoro Miru, or Curiously Looking Around, we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode. We're going to talk about kyūdō, the Japanese martial art of archery.
Ooh!
Yes. So in honor of Rei first using her Mars Flame sniper attack, where she uses her fiery bow and arrow, we are going to talk about kyūdō. Kyūdō, or the way of the bow, is the Japanese martial art of archery. Kyūdō is based on kyūjutsu, art of archery, which originated in the samurai class of feudal Japan. The beginning of archery in Japan is prehistorical. We don't know exactly when it started. The first images picturing distinct Japanese asymmetrical longbow are from the Yayoi period, which is 500 BC to 300 AD, so a really long time ago. The changing of society and the samurai class taking power at the end of the Heian period, which was 794 to 1185, created a requirement for education in archery. This led to the birth of the first kyūjutsu ryuha, or style, the Henmi Ryu, founded by Henmi Kiyomitsu in the 12th century. From the 15th to the 16th century, Japan was ravaged by civil war. In the latter part of the 15th century, Heki Janjo Masatsugu revolutionized archery with his new accurate approach called Hi-kan-chu, fly, pierce, center, and his footman's archery spread rapidly. The Japanese bow, or yumi, began its gradual decline as a weapon used in war after 1543, when the Portuguese arrived in Japan with firearms in the form of matchlock.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to use a bow and arrow as much.
And not just that, like, remember, their metalworking developed over time as well. And so, from what I understand or what I've heard, in the earlier days of war, from Yayoi up to a certain time, the mark of a samurai or a warrior was the bow.
Sure, yeah.
Then it became, the spear.
Yes.
And later it was the sword.
Uh-huh.
Once they, had enough swords for everybody, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, so the bow definitely dropped off, but everybody had a bow.
It was important.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The Japanese soon started to manufacture their own versions of the matchlock called the Tanegashima, and eventually it and the yari, or spear, became the war weapons of choice, as well as the katana, of course. Mm-hmm. However, the Tanegashima took a long time to load. They were inconvenient in rainy weather because the damp gunpowder doesn't fire. And they're not subtle in terms of noise, so it's not a stealth weapon. So the yumi did not go out of fashion and continued to be used as an important military force on the battlefield. During the Edo period, archery became a, quote, voluntary skill, practiced partly in the court in ceremonial form, partly as different kinds of competition. At the beginning of the Meiji era, the samurai lost their social status, and kyūjutsu was considered to be outdated in its popularity. Kyūjutsu practitioners established dojos to survive and began to spread kyūjutsu among the common people. Kyūjutsu was renamed kyūdō in the Edo period, 1603 to 1868. kyūdō was first adopted as a subject in school education in 1895.
All right, kids, everybody, grab a bow.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Today, many students participate in kyūdō clubs at their schools. Kyūdō is practiced in many different schools, different styles. Some of which descend from the military, and others descend from ceremonial or contemplative practice. Therefore, the emphasis is different. Some emphasize aesthetics and others efficiency. Contemplative schools teach the form as a meditation in action. In certain schools, to shoot correctly will result inevitably in hitting the desired target. So there's a lot of spiritual kind of meditative elements to kyūdō. At least as it's in the modern day. It was definitely used in war differently and to kill people and that sort of thing.
Right, yeah.
But
what are you, meditating?
Yeah,
shoot the thing.
But nowadays it's changed. According to the Nippon Kyūdō Federation, the supreme goal of kyūdō is the state of shinzen-bi, which roughly translates to truth, goodness, beauty, which can be approximated as when archers shoot correctly, i.e. truthfully, with virtuous spirit and attitude toward all persons and all things which relate to kyūdō, i.e. with goodness, beautiful shooting is realized naturally.
And you get a score multiplier.
Yeah, that's right. But you see that a lot with kyūdō, the truth, goodness, beauty. That's a big part of it. Kyūdō is a martial art that requires spiritual training. Some people call kyūdō ritsu zen, or a way of practicing zen standing up. Kyūdō practitioners learn to control their breath and remain calm as they practice. For most archers, kyūdō is considered to be an art, not a sport. An archer's presence and technique are frequently thought of as being more paramount than actually hitting the target. So, when there are competitions and everything, not only are they looking to see if you are hitting the target, they're looking to see if, there's 8 different separate, steps that you're supposed to do before you release the arrow. I'm not going to go into that in detail. There are some great videos on YouTube. I highly recommend you check them out. They go into that in more detail, but before they even come on, they bow. There's a lot of bowing and everything. But the judges are not only judging, did they hit the target, how many times, whatever. They're judging how well they're doing each of these steps.
Well, this guy shot my cat, but he was really respectful when he did it. So
That's right.
I'm going to go a 9.
Oh my God. The yumi, literally the Japanese bow, is exceptionally tall. The bow length runs from 212 to 245 centimeters, or 6.9 to 8 feet tall.
This is that really big.
It's really big.
Samurai bow.
Yes. These bows weigh between 26 to 35 pounds.
I mean, the draw, I don't know what the force is on it, but it's got to be gigantic, being that big.
Yes. Yeah, it is, but
go through 3 cats.
But it's an asymmetrical longbow with a long top on a short bottom, and one holds the bow about 1/3 from the bottom. So it does
a lot of headroom.
Yeah, but the way that it's pulled back and everything too, I feel like it looks like it's easy, but I don't think it is easy at all. But it looks very graceful, and the top, having more at the top seems like it gives you more flexibility.
Gotta be hard to shoot that on a horse.
I actually have read that maybe one reason why it is you held it 1/3 of the way up is because it would be easier to do that on a horse, because it isn't it's long, but you only have so big before it's not hitting your horse as much.
Yeah. Generally, I mean, in European, warfare, generally, you'd have mounted archers that have a very short bow.
Yeah.
It's easier to turn and fire and handle. But yeah, I mean, having all that stuff up top.
Right.
It's
exactly.
Horse is careful now.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yumi shafts are traditionally made of bamboo, wood, and leather, using techniques which have not changed for centuries. Although some archers may use synthetic, i.e. laminated wood coated with glass fiber or carbon fiber. Even advanced practitioners may own non-bamboo bows and arrows because of the vulnerability of bamboo equipment to extreme climates. They can break, they can crack. They're harder to take care of.
They've got trees in Japan.
They do.
They just don't have that like strong yew wood or something like that.
They really like using the bamboo for it. Like that's just the way it was traditionally done, and they like to keep that going. I saw a video of a guy who he makes yumi. He makes the bows, and it was actually really fascinating. And it's like 3 different pieces, and the front piece and the back piece are bamboo, and then the middle piece was some other kind of wood. I swear to God, it was nakauchi, and or was it? Anyways, and then he fuses them together like with some rope and stuff like that. And anyways, it's really fascinating. The average yumi can shoot somewhere between 150 and 200 meters, or 490 to 650 feet. The kyūdō archer wears a glove on their right hand called yugake, literally yumi gloves. They are many varieties of yugake. They are typically made of deerskin. Practitioners can choose between a hard glove, which has a hardened thumb, or a soft glove. Each has its advantages. With the hard glove, the thumb area is not very flexible and has a pre-made groove used for the string. With a soft glove, the thumb area is very flexible and is without a pre-made glove. There's no pre-made groove.
Right.
So it allows practitioners to create their own based on their own shooting habits.
You got to break it in.
Yes, right.
It's like a baseball mitt.
Right. I think it's very similar in a lot of ways. All kyūdō archers hold their bow in their left hand and draw the string with their right hand, so that all archers face the higher position, or the kamiza, or top seat, while shooting. So I'm assuming the kamiza, I'm assuming that's like somebody who's watching the competition, who we're being very respectful towards them. They are the highest. So they're all facing the same way. Kyūdō archers draw the bow so that the drawing hand is held behind the ear. So if done improperly, upon release, the string may strike the archer's ear or the side of their face. So you definitely don't want to do that. While practicing kyūdō, everyone wears hakama, a dogi or martial arts top, and a white tabi socks. Women wear a breastplate to protect their chest from the yumi string. And I'm being completely serious. And if wearing a traditional kimono top with long sleeves, men often practice kyūdō with their left arm out of the kimono top so it doesn't get caught in the yumi string.
We do that thing where you tie the sleeves up.
They do that too.
Yeah.
Beginners start with a rubber practice bow, and by practicing the movements of hasetsu, or the 8 stages of shooting, that's what I was talking about before,
right.
In the kyūdō kyūhon, or kyūdō manual. After given permission by the teacher, beginners start practicing with the glove and arrows. Next step may vary from teacher to teacher, but include practicing first yugame, and then the draw and last release and shooting at makiwara.
You think you're going to shoot? We're going to be breathing for 2 weeks. You're not even going to see a bow.
Well,
until you forget what they look like.
Right. So after you practice with a rubber bow first to release it, and then you'll practice like using a real bow. But this is a very slow, methodical process,
Yeah.
Mato is the normal target for most kyūdō practitioners. Mato sizes and shooting distances vary, but most common is hoshimato, which is 36 centimeters or a little over 14 inches. That's how big the target is. So it's not very big.
How many shaku is that?
Oh, God, I don't know. You would ask me that.
Is there somebody in the world who's like the measurement expert And so he's like, yeah, I can convert kilogram to stone. I can convert meters to shaku, kilometers to inchworm, inches.
Oh my God, I don't know.
You know, if you just knew all
that would be impressive.
You know. Yeah, I've been living in Greenwich for a little while. Not Greenwich Village, Greenwich, England.
Yeah, right.
For a little while now, working for the weights and measurements. And yeah.
Always knows what Greenwich chime is. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it's 36 centimeters in diameter and shot at a distance of 28 meters. For competitions and examinations, kasumi mato is used. For ceremonies, it's most common to use hoshi mato, which is the same as kasumi mato, but with different markings. Advanced beginners and advanced shooters practice shooting at makiwara, mato, and some with omato. Makiwara is a specially designed straw target. This is like the one that you usually start with, and you're like very close to it, so you're gonna hit it. And the reasoning for using that is you're practicing the steps, and you're getting more comfortable with the way of the bow, right?
Yeah.
And you're not focusing so much on hitting the target.
Right.
So it's just like you walking through it, but you're also releasing an arrow. So that's really, really important. It's a very long training period and takes at least 2 years for the rate of arrows hitting the target to be more than 50%. So
what if you're just a natural?
Well, if you're a natural, then
like
you're a
Django.
Natural. Right. Well, I mean,
the kid's
it
a
happens.
Natural.
It happens. So,
picked up that bow yesterday.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess it depends on your sensei too, and like if will let you skip
his
ahead.
breathing. I don't know, but he can hit those targets.
Yeah, right. Exactly. In a typical kyūdō match, you shoot 8 arrows at a target that is 20 meters or about 92 feet away. Practitioners compete for the largest number of arrows that hit the target. It doesn't matter if it's in the center, just if it hits the target. Each arrow counts as a point. If there is a tie for the most number of arrows on a target, competitors will draw alternatively, and the one who misses first loses.
A penalty shootout.
Yes.
Literally.
They are individual matches and team matches with 3 to 5 people per team. And then it's the same rules apply. It's just for teams. So okay. I watched a video where there were teams of 3 and there were like maybe 3 or 4 different teams.
Huh.
So yeah, and it was very interesting. Have you ever done archery, Cal?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I used to own a bow.
Really? You had a bow?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
And it was I had a wooden longbow. And then a friend of mine had a composite compound bow.
Okay.
And I mean, we never breathed or we never,
It's very different.
We just go in the woods.
It's very different.
I was a woodsy kid. We went in the woods and set up targets and shot them and stuff like that. And then, you do, I think we had, archery units in school or activities at camp. But yeah,
sure.
I can't even remember where I got it from. My parents were like, oh, great.
Were you good at hitting the targets?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
I liked my BB gun a lot better than my bow.
You had a BB gun too.
But yeah.
I did archery at summer camp.
And
I was not very good at it. Yeah, right. I have very noodly arms, and I did not have the strength to pull the string back as far as it needed to go. And I think it was like the frustration of my camp counselors. They're like, okay, do that. Oh, okay. All right. Well, here we go again. Now try doing this. I cannot remember if I even hit the target once. And I took archery multiple times. It was not so okay. I went to summer camp for like a month for like 6 years. And every week we had to sign up for classes.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of archery. I've always liked the idea of archery. Robin Hood is one of my all-time favorite stories. When I played D&D, I had a character who used a crossbow. It's different, but still related. But just terrible at it. I just couldn't do anything. So, yeah.
The crossbow is like a medieval gun.
Yeah, right. Right.
And then you get 2 of them and you jump to the side and you...
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I'm going to try to hide now, but you know where I am because I just shot. Itadakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat in this episode? In Rei's bedroom, the girls are drinking green tea, and then Nanako, she's bringing candy to the girls in Rei's room. And when Nanako is on the cover of the latest issue of Boys Press, it says, at least in my episode, pretty girl at the street corner. Nanako is the burger shop's star attraction. Nanako brings the girls some food with from the hamburger shop. Villain gauge, we rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. The lemur Mane Mane Musume, the dream-eating monkey, her name, Mane Mane Musume, is the last lemur whose name is not inspired by onomatopoeia. Mane means to copy or mimic, which is what she does. So that makes sense.
Sure.
Her design. She is a humanoid monkey with pink or red fur. She has white fur on her face, belly, and kneecaps in the shape of diamonds, because we're bringing that back, I guess. The fur on her butt is a slightly lighter shade of pink or red, because we know. She has a light green shirt with a face on it. The eyes are placed about where her nipples are, and the shirt is also has pink lips. She has light green long gloves with claws at the end.
Yeah.
Red diamond earrings and red diamond shaped earrings, I should say. And a yellow cap that has a red diamond on top. She has pink lipstick and blue button eyes.
Yes.
As you pointed out.
Yes.
Her power is to mimic, so her face turns into Sailor Venus, then Sailor Jupiter, Nanako, and then Sailor Mars. So now we're up to our rating. The design is terrifying. It is absolutely horrific. I don't know why they thought that having the eyes strategically placed where her nipples would be a good idea. But that's what happened.
You're I don't care if this airs in Korea.
Apparently that was a choice they made. They made that choice.
Yeah.
She mimics everyone, including Ves. She is not following her orders right away, and I do like monsters who disobey their masters.
She gets their face, but it's instead of the chan marks, she's got a twisty little hair coming out of her each cheek.
I saw that.
Which is
weird.
Okay. Is that some shorthand for monkey face or something?
It must be. Some weird whiskers. Her power is to mimic, so when her face turns into one of the senshi, she is able to use their powers and attack them, which is, honestly, it's really powerful.
Yeah.
When she looks like Jupiter, she pounds her chest and shakes her butt. I can take, Jupiter puffs out her chest. We talk about that a lot, but I can't imagine her pounding her chest.
I want to see that.
Yeah, right?
You want a sparkling white pressure? Come on!
That'd be awesome. Make that a t-shirt.
Feels good. I haven't pounded my chest in a while. That feels good.
Oh my God.
I'm feeling this. Yeah, I want a horse.
Oh my God, no.
Sorry.
The mouth on Mane's shirt swallows Nanako's dream mirror. As soon as she does this, she turns into Nanako, which is really ruthless.
I have a feeling that no other lemur is going to show us this level of interaction with our subjects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seems like, that's a neat idea you could have been doing this entire time.
Right.
But again, that's right. You don't care what the dreams are. It doesn't really matter.
No, that's become very clear.
I feel like we're all trying to get out of this. I feel like Ikuhara's got senioritis, and we're just trying to get to the end of this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Even to the fact that, sorry to cut into your villain segment, but even to the point where the Amazonesses are like, yeah, I know we're girls. I don't know, whatever.
I know.
They started strong. They're like, oh, that's right. We don't care about anything.
That's right.
I love video games.
Yeah.
Because you get to kill people in them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just turned into, we're just, just doing circus stuff. Go out and get them.
I know.
Get the mirrors. Are we going to stick our heads in them? No, just
Not
there
really.
it is.
Just gonna shoot him out.
Oh, not wrong color.
Okay.
Oh, moving on.
All right. Zircon screwed up. Oh well.
It's a living.
I know. I think she's really powerful. I think even though I think that she's creepy, it's not a bad design. I'm not thrilled with all of the shaking about of her butt and her boobs and stuff like that. But she is very powerful, and I mean I can't knock it. So I'm gonna give her 5 out of 5 dark stars.
Oh, you can't
even though
knock the
I
hustle.
don't like all of it. I just think she's good.
That's when I was thinking about this before. That's what I was thinking. And
Yeah.
so you are not only actually our rating is different, but you're taking my sentiment.
Okay.
I don't like it,
Yeah,
but I gotta respect it.
exactly.
It creeps me out.
Me too.
But she is very powerful.
Yes.
And this required some drawing, didn't it?
It did.
You had to draw. You could have just, bad GIF, just put like monkey face on Monaco's body or something
Right.
like that, and do the monkey chain or something like that.
Right.
But you had to redraw it. Now you had probably those old cells to trace over because she does the exact same movements,
Yes.
and then you recolor it. But that's still work. And now, as I've been watching these episodes, for the next 2 or 3 episodes, nobody's going to transform because there's a singular transformation that we're trying to establish.
Right.
You notice the girls don't transform anymore?
They don't.
That
really
used to
do
be
it a
like the
lot
reliable way.
to eat up some time.
Yeah. So do we not have to eat up time? I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
But they're not doing that. And yet in this episode, they went, yes, we're going to commit to a monster that not only has to have its own design, but we'll then have to have all the girls' faces on it.
Right.
And then we'll also have to ape all their, they got a little extra money.
Yeah.
I guess for this episode. So you have to respect that kind of hustle. Here's why she's getting a 4 instead of a 5.
Oh.
Because if you have a bit where this monkey repeats everything that it hears,
Yes.
and you kill it with Moon Gorgeous Meditation,
Yeah.
if she's not screaming, Moon Gorgeous Meditation, sarcastically as she dies,
Oh.
what are we even doing
That's
here?
perfect.
When you name a movie, Now You See Me,
Yeah.
if the sequel isn't called
now you
don't, then what are we?
Yes.
You got to commit to the bit.
I agree.
So you had it within your grasp. We were this close. You had a 5-star, you had a 5 dark star
Yes.
Yoma here, and I'm going to have to take one away.
Okay.
Partially because I'm skeeved out. But the
Yeah.
excuse is that you couldn't commit all the way.
I think
We were
that's
this
a
close.
really good point.
But otherwise, I'm strong. Too bad they always die.
I know, right?
Well, sometimes we see them come back.
Every once in a
We
while,
won't see
very
this one come
rarely.
back.
No, I know.
But but good though.
All right.
A highlight of the episode,
I
sadly.
actually agree.
Yeah.
Take a bow or our rating on how our villains left the stage of life. She is frozen in place, saying stage out. Her eyes look like the letter X, and she looks embarrassed, but she is also smiling widely. Like she's like, her cheeks are red, so it looks like she's embarrassed, but she's like smiling.
They're getting really liberal with the embarrassed brush.
Yeah,
Because
they
in
are.
this episode and in a couple of previous episodes, the girls are all embarrassed. It's like, what are you
Yeah,
embarrassed
well,
about?
why are they embarrassed? I don't understand.
Are you turned
She's-
on?
Right.
Is it hot in here?
I know. She's scratching her head and has a finger on her chin. I'm confused, but it's different from what we usually see, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5,
Oh,
but
wow.
I'm very
Okay.
confused.
Maybe
I shouldn't give it a 3.
Exactly the same. I'm going to give it a 3. It's not the usual. It's not, I'm looking at the camera.
Right.
I and my clothing are looking at the camera.
Right.
But now that's kind of breaking away from the trend, isn't it?
Yes.
To not do that.
Yes.
So, it's solid. You get one last look at this, just very odd
Yeah.
lemur. So, I'll give it a 3.
All right.
That's safe.
I have some trivia, too. This was the first episode to feature Sailor Mars' transformation, Mars Crystal Power makeup, and her new attack, Mars Flame Sniper. It also included the last uses of Burning Mandala and Sparkling Wide Pressure.
Oh,
I know.
where they're going.
They're just gone. They're older powers, so they're retiring them, I
Yeah, but
guess.
sometimes they get the old powers out.
I know.
Let's try. We've tried this. Let's
I
try
know.
this.
I know.
We gotta
I like when they do
break
that.
another wall down or something.
Right.
Give me that sparkling wide pressure.
I know. There is a fan theory that Rei is a southpaw. This stems from Rei using her...
Is that code?
No, left-handed. No, it's not code.
Yeah, there's a lot of fan theories.
Yeah, I know.
About Rei.
No, this one is specifically
I
that
agree
she's
with this
left-handed.
one, that she's a southpaw.
Okay, no, this is specifically that she's left-handed. This stems from Rei using her left hand to draw the bowstring in Mars Flame Sniper. However, as we now know, everyone who practices kyūdō must draw the bowstring with the right hand, even if they are left-handed. There are no left-handed bows or ways of shooting in
You left-handed?
kyūdō.
Sorry. Learn to shoot with the right, or
Exactly.
you get a spear.
That's right.
Okay. Their uniforms are essentially symmetrical, right? So there's no way that you could, is it just flipped?
I think it's honestly, I just think that they liked how
just
that
don't
looked.
care. Yeah.
I don't think I think they just liked how it looked more that way.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's so weird. It's usually there's weird specific detail sometimes in in traditional things. I guess it's not weird. I mean, they know that it's a traditional thing, but it's weird.
It is weird, but if you pay close attention, the bow for her attack, it doesn't even have a bowstring.
Yeah.
And also it's magic. So, we
2 string related superpowers so far. So let's see. Monaco is going to play violin. And what else?
And Jupiter
is
going to
yo-yo.
I was going to say lasso, but sure.
Or a lasso, yeah.
There you go. But I did also want to mention in one of the Sailor Moon Eternal films, which is Crystal, Rei is seen doing kyūdō, and she is using her right hand to pull the string back. So.
She did that in the manga?
I can't remember if she does it in the manga or not. She probably does, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But they put it in. Okay. So now we're up to our rating. So I'm not thrilled with both Usagi and Chibi's dreams being about brides wearing wedding dress. I've said it before. I'll say it again. This show brings it up too much. I get it. I know that a lot of young girls are kind of programmed to dream about that big day with a wedding dress and everything, but I just wish it wasn't so much in here.
Is there a shoujo manga at this level where there's girls and boys and boyfriends and girlfriends that doesn't end with them getting married?
I don't know. That is a fantastic question.
Do the Magic Knights of Rei Earth get married at the end? I bet they don't.
I don't think they do. That's a good one.
And maybe one of them does.
Maybe.
Because since I think we all know where this is going, you don't have to say anything. I've already seen the Terminator future. I know where it's going.
Okay.
Maybe we could spend all the time we can within the episodes emphasizing all the things that she could learn to do, or all the things that she looks forward to in the future.
Yeah.
Besides, becoming Mrs. Mamoru Chiba.
Yeah.
But gosh, they're really dropping the ball
They
at
are.
some of those opportunities.
They really are,
Aren't
and
they?
I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I love how much Rei is eating up all the attention she's getting, but she's not acting like herself. So there's that. I like how much Rei leans into the mystical shrine maiden and dreams of Hikawa Shrine becoming super popular and possibly recording an album as a mystical shrine maiden. It's so ridiculous, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I love that.
And the solid gold shrine label.
Yes.
It's Fallout Girl.
Yes. I love how surprised the Senshi are that Nanako wants to emanate Rei, and I just love when Mako says magazine publicity is impressive. Yeah, I love the entire scene where the Senshi are watching Rei and Nanako sell amulets, and the animation is really funny. They're clearly jealous, but I don't know. It's sweet that Nanako wants to be like Rei, but you also brought up a really great point, single white female, and it's a little weird, and it's a little like, what are you doing? Do you really want to become me? Like her wearing the wig is that's too far, It's like, why do you have to wear a wig? because you want to look just like her. I love that Ray thinks what's important is being yourself. Girls have the power to take their dreams come true. What's more important is the will to try. So that was a great message. Kind of a mixed episode. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 roses.
Wow. 2.
Okay.
Saved from being a 1 by, I don't know.
The lemur?
The lemur, some fun character moments. Actually, I don't really know. Stick with the 2. I've already talked about my disappointment with a lot of feminist narratives in our Barbie talk on the Patreon. So if you want more of that, check out patreon.com/Sailor Noob. $1 gets you our outtakes. So I'll move on to say there are mixed up messages, implications. I know I'm putting a lot on the narrative. I'm putting a lot on a narrative for 10-year-old girls. But I still feel like there are weird things going on here that are not... Why imply things if you're not going to follow through on them? Why, if you have no intention of ever following through on stuff, why enter into certain spaces? You know what I mean? Even where, like, Makomina... Minkoto?
Sure.
Minkoto fans are getting a little something out of this. I just felt like there was a lot of like Yuri, stuff in the air.
There was.
But maybe that's just me. But
no, I think that there was.
But you're right. You said something in your thing about how like they set up the thing for, her dreams, and it's so important. She's so desperate to the point where she's wearing a wig and she's got a single white female, this girl, to escape her disappointing past or to avoid the dream or the responsibilities. And that shoe is an anti-gravity shoe. It never comes down. We never learn.
No,
because they just didn't write it.
No, right.
So that's bad. The episode is slow, and I don't mind if something is deliberately paced. But it's slow and talky in a bad way. Because they talk a lot about stuff, and they cover some things more than once, and they go over the ground again. And I noticed, we talked about last week how quickly the eye catch came.
Yes.
Because they had a lot to
backload.
Hit and kind of grind through at the end. And they padded the conflict all the way to the middle. The eye catch happened almost exactly in the middle. And I felt like they just barely got there. Because the bad guy, instead of like dressing up as somebody else, which we haven't seen really the Amazons do yet, but or getting involved somehow, just shows up and goes, "Is this it? Okay, stay tuned for Act 2."
Yeah, right, exactly.
And then once we get there, they had this conversation about Nanako, which is such a sitcom thing. They wait forever, and they just have to pad that conversation out so they can get to the point where she can walk in on them and get upset, which is so predictable.
It is,
and is still prolonged. So you're already ahead of the episode, and you're like, when is this girl gonna hear Ray going, "Well, I don't care about this little girl"? You know it's gonna happen, but it takes so long to get there. And by the time they get there, they've got this great thing with this weird, Yoma lemur that can look like them and can copy their powers and can do all this stuff. And plus, we're going to introduce Ray's new power. This could have been another 9 minutes eye catch, and then you got like 12 minutes to do whatever you want.
Right.
And it wasn't. They just went, get it as far as we can. All right, we cut that off. Now we do the little talk. Now we move to the bad guy, and we're done. So it just felt like to me this was, a pound and a half of story in a 6-pound bag.
I get
just
it.
Trying to make it, just trying to stretch it out. The girl doesn't have a dream.
Right.
Ray doesn't have a dream, but we don't.
Not specifically.
Right. But we know that about her, and yet we don't take a chance to touch that again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just the whole kind of Ray character side elements of suddenly making her so interested in this thing. It's okay for every individual episode. Our character's like, "Oh, I like sailing," and then at the end you're like, "Oh, what? I don't like sailing." That's I get like that kind of structure, but like, why is she like this? And
why is she into the boy attention? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
When she
so
isn't
important now
like
when
that.
It's not usually a thing. So
yeah,
maybe it's all about her music career.
Maybe her adoring fans. She doesn't care if they're men or women.
No, this is another one. It's not even like some of the other episodes that have been like, ugh, that wasn't good. This is more just like, okay, I made it through this one.
Okay.
When the credits rolled, I was like, good. There'll be another one next week.
Right.
There'll be another one next week.
I kind of got the impression that Nanako, because she talked about, like, there are dreams that can come true and then there are dreams that can't come true. I kind of got the sense that somebody, like a parent or sibling...
break up with her, or somebody told her she couldn't do something.
Yeah, somebody told her that that's not going to come true.
You wanted to train dogs and your dog died.
Yeah,
like...
but again, that wasn't there. They could have put that in and would have made it way more interesting.
And she works at a hamburger restaurant at the end.
Yeah, and she's so happy.
Dream comes true.
Right.
Give it a 2.
My English title is Shoot Moon, Land the Stars.
Come on. You have to say it like you're Tonto.
Stop.
Perfect. I don't want to spend a lot of time on mine. Mine is monkey see, monkey don't.
All right, that perfect. Next week is another episode of Shore Leave. We hope that you will join us on our live stream as we talk about subjects that are related to Japan.
Yeah, excited about talking about my subject this week.
Yeah?
Got a good one. Yeah.
I'm excited too. I also have a good one.
Okay.
So, but I don't want to show my
No. We can't talk about it now.
Yeah,
We'll talk about it next week.
That's right. That's right.
I appreciate the encouragement that I've been receiving from the audience. And it feels like when you are doing a job that you don't, if you ever had a job that you didn't want to do, or I don't know, even if like, your parents ever wake you up early in the morning and like, we got to do yard work or something. You're like, oh God. And then it's terrible all morning. And then you have lunch and you're enjoying a lunch and you're just getting used to your seat and you had some potato chips. And it's like, all right, let's go. That's what it feels like. It feels like I got to get back to this, you know? I'm trying to find the happiness in it. I'm doing my best, and hopefully you're enjoying us hearing us talk about it. But we're going to continue to do it no matter what.
Yes.
And I mentioned our Patreon before, patreon.com/Sailor Noob, if you want to hear some of the off the beaten path, off-color jokes or outtakes from the episode. They're on there, as well as our other podcast. We haven't mentioned it much, but I wanted to mention that we do have merch. We don't have a ton of merch still. We do have a merch store. If you're interested in Sailor Noob merch, you can find it. Link in the show notes. Check that out on your phone, your computer. And pick something up if you want. We'll have some more stuff on there. I promise. It's a long process developing it and getting it ready and designing it and everything. But we do have some more stuff coming. And of course, if you want to support the show, you can always go to coffee, ko-fi.com/just enough trope, all one word, and drop a little something in the tip jar.
Well, that's our show for this week. In the Name of the Moon, we'll be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
There'll be another one next week.